as we all understand, today is today we are talking about ITR filing season. We are in the month of July. We have just 29 more days to go. And discussion with CA Anvesh, we thought, why don't we take all the people into confidence, especially our teachers, because teachers are more so the trainers who can go back to their respective classrooms, colleges, and in turn train the students as well. So keeping those things in mind, we thought of this particular topic. And to tell you very frankly, the next 15 days, next fortnight, we have another beautiful session on gamification coming up. So all the teachers who are really interested to be a part of our regular webinar series, organized by Mukta and collaboration with other different colleges of Mangalore University, you are free to stay in the group for more information. So presently, warm welcome to everyone, and to formally welcome all of us, may I invite my dear colleague, Professor Mamta Madam from the Department of Political Science to do the honors. Over to you, Mamta Madam.
A warm note of welcome springs from the heart and brings a smile on everybody's face. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege to welcome all the dignitaries who are part of this program. First of all, I would like to welcome the respected principal of our college, Dr. Shivaram P., who is present in this program. Welcome you, sir. I'm very delighted to introduce and welcome the resource person of today's program, Mr. C.A. Anvesh Shetty, who is a practicing chartered accountant of Mangalore and has trained students on various subjects such as GST and Enterprise Information System. He has completed his articleship under the guidance of C.A. Shivakumar, and he has obtained his BCom degree from Alvas College, Mudabidre, and his law degree from Karnataka State Law University. Sir, it is our pleasure to have you as a resource person for this program. On behalf of IQSC, GFGC Kavur, and Mukta, I extend a warm welcome to you, sir. I wholeheartedly welcome Professor Pashwanath Ajri, President of Mangalore University Commerce Teachers Association, and the President of this particular program. Sir, welcome you. I welcome you, sir. I also extend warm welcome to the office bearers of Mukta, Coordinator of IQSC GFGC Kavur, Professor Luis Manoj Ambrose, Co-Coordinator Dr. Teres Pereira, my colleagues, and all the participants gathered here. Once again, welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mamta, and a warm welcome to you as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to listen to the words of C.A. Anvesh Shetty, and may I invite our resourceful speaker, young and dynamic resourceful speaker, and Mukta always collaborates, rather with folded hands for all the initiative that C.A. Anvesh has taken, starting from, our relationship, starting with the beginning of NEP, to Zoho books and so many other things that we have had in training all our commerce teachers of the university under NEP. So warm welcome to you, C. Anvesh, and over to you for your presentation.
Thank you. So before I start, I want to confirm, am I clearly audible?
Yeah, audible.
Okay. So at the very outset, I would like to thank Mukta and Government First Grade College, Kavur, for giving me this opportunity. And before I begin, I am very conscious of the fact that most of the students today here are the ones who are dealing in the tax subject. So I would restrict myself in dealing not with the tax provisions per se, but only to discuss about how to file our income tax return. Though there are multiple forms, there is around 7+1 form in this budget. They have come up with a very new variety of forms, something called as updated return. So there are 8 types of ITR forms. So it would be humanly impossible to discuss all the 8 types of forms, at least within given 1 hour. So what I decided is to take you through the basic form, that is ITR 1, and from starting to finish, how exactly you approach this website. So before let's say 2 years, I would not have attempted this adventure because income tax website itself was mazed. So that is where we would normally use a third-party software where we would key in all the data. From there, we would upload the data to income tax website. But now the income tax website has undergone a major overhaul and they have simplified the user interface. So now everything looks organized and with a little bit of knowledge, which I'm certain that all the faculties dealing in commerce will have, we'll be able to file our income tax return without any difficulty. So this is going to be a 1 hour session. Please bear with me. If you have any questions, we will take it up at the end because I don't want it to disrupt our flow because we are discussing a particular website. So now I'd wish to share my screen and yes. So Manas, sir, whether my screen is visible?
It's visible. It's visible. You can go ahead.
So we are discussing about the current assessment year 2022-23. The due date of filing income tax return as far as individuals are concerned, that will fall on 31st of July. That is, so we have around 30 more days. So if you have not filed your income tax return, I hope that right after this session, you should be able to go right into this website and you should be able to file your returns. So what exactly are we going to discuss? These are the brief contents. So the first thing that we have to understand is out of 7+1 ITR forms that I have, who can file the ITR 1? Now, why you need to know this is later point of time when I take you through the website, it will clearly ask you saying that which ITR you want to fill in. So you have to select whether it is ITR 1 or ITR 2, ITR 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or ITR 2. So here, who can actually write ITR 1? So the most important thing that we need to notice here is only resident and ordinary resident can file their ITR 1. So if I am a non-resident or if I'm a resident but not ordinary resident, I will not be allowed to file my ITR 1. Now that is my residential criteria. The second is I need to have only these incomes to file my ITR 1. The first one is salary income. Second one is I may have interest income or income from other sources. Or I may have certain dividend incomes. Now, dividend income could be from companies. Members must be aware that dividend income now is completely taxable. Like the so there is a dividend income which is taxable. That will also come under ITR 1. Family pension will also come under ITR 1. Now the issue here is what if I have certain shares that I've sold? What if I've sold certain my family properties? So if I've done any of these transactions, then ITR 1 is not eligible to me. So which other ITR forms that I have to file, that we will discuss slightly later. So for me to file ITR 1, I have to majorly have salary income or interest income or dividend income or family pension. So normally for all the salaried class, ITR 1 will be applicable. But if you're also dealing with certain business, if you have some site, or if you're having let us say some capital gains, then ITR 1 is not for you. Moving on to the next slide. Now, this is one very big chunk of data. We have tried to break it down. Again, as far as ITR 1 is only concerned. So if you will not be able to file ITR 1, if you are a partner of a firm, okay, let us say you are a lecturer, but at the same time, also partner in one of the firm, any partnership firm, you will not be eligible to file ITR 1. If you are a director of a company, whether a full-time director, part-time director, does not matter, you will not be eligible to file ITR 1. And next one is if you are governed by Portuguese Civil Code. Now, if you are a tax faculty, you must be aware of something called as Portuguese Civil Code that is mainly prevalent in Goa, where both husband and wife are treated as equal assessees. A simple example would be, let us say you are a Goan citizen and you earn 10 lakh rupees of salary. Now in Karnataka, entire 10 lakh rupees is the income of the husband. But in Goa, there is a concept something called as half thereof. So 5 lakh is the income of the husband and 5 lakh is the income of the wife. So if you are a Goan citizen also, ITR 1 is not applicable to you. Now, talking about the second criteria, that is on the basis of assets. If you have any assets outside India, okay, let us say you have a bank account outside India or some asset outside India, you can't file ITR 1. If you are holding certain unlisted shares, now you need not deal with these shares. Maybe 3 years back, you purchased some shares of an unlisted company. That means you have not purchased from NSE or BSE, some public limited company that you have purchased. Then also you are not eligible to file ITR 1. Third thing. Now again, these are the only couple of slides theory what we are discussing. Next, I'll directly take you to the website. Third thing, who are not eligible to file ITR 1 is if you are claiming relief under section 90 or 91. That is, if you're claiming certain DTAA benefits, okay, that is, let's say for 3 months you were working somewhere outside India, and after which you came and joined as a lecturer in one of the colleges. But in 3 months that you were outside India, you have earned some income. Now, where should you pay tax? Should you pay tax in abroad or in India? So there is a detailed procedure, something called as double taxation avoidance agreement. So if you are claiming certain benefits under that, then you can't file under ITR 1. Or if you are an employee of an eligible startup, then again, there is an option for you to pay an immediate tax on the ESOPs, that is employee sweat equity options, or you can defer it. So if you have chosen to defer it, now this is an unlikely case for this audience, but again, you must be aware of this fact that if you're an employee of a startup and if you have deferred payment of tax for the next 3 years, then you can't file ITR 1. Then if you are claiming any deduction under section 57, that is, let us say you have interest income, also you have certain interest expenses. So if you want to minus that interest expense, then you can't file ITR 1. Fourth condition, this is very, very important for the faculties. So if your income in a year exceeds 50 lakh rupees, let us say your annual salary is 60 lakh rupees, ITR 1 is not for you. Let us say you are a faculty and you also have an agricultural income. Now, agricultural income can be up to 5,000 rupees in the whole year. If it is more than 5,000 rupees, you can't file ITR 1. Next, two important aspects are, if you have declared loss in the previous year, for example, loss from house property, and you're carrying it to the current year, or you have some business loss in the last year, though you don't have a business income in the current year, still you have a brought forward loss from the last year, you can't file ITR 1. Last thing is, there is one new section that has been introduced, something called as section 194N. Now, this is a very draconian section, a tedious section, which says, if in a year you are drawing more than 1 crore rupees cash from your bank account, it is not transferring from your bank account, you are drawing cash from your bank account, then bank will deduct TDS at the rate of 2%. So if bank has deducted such TDS, then again you are not eligible to file TDS. Sorry, you are not eligible to file ITR under ITR 1. So this is the basic, the framework as to who cannot file ITR 1. Again, who can file ITR 1? If I'm having only salary income, if I'm having pension related income, if I'm having income from one house property, okay, only one house property if I have, maybe I am staying in that house only, or maybe I only have one house, but I've given it for rent and I'm also staying in some other place for rent, then I can file ITR 1. So this is the basic framework. Now, before you get started in filing your ITR, so you need to have certain documents handy. Okay. One is Form 16 that your employer will give you. Form 16A, your banks will give you, or other person who have deducted TDS on will give you. Form 26AS. Now, these are the things I'll take you through. This Form 26AS, I'll show you how to access this Form 26AS. 26AS is that one form which shows the summary of the TDS that has been deducted on you. You also need to have certain bank statements, all the bank statements that you have, a copy of it or the soft copy of it. If you are claiming certain HRA deductions or ATG deductions, then you need to have ATGG deductions, then you need to have rent agreements with you. And if you're claiming 24B deductions or ATC deduction as far as housing loan is concerned, then you need to go to your bank and ask for the split up. Normally in your passbook, they will only mention EMIs. But for you to correctly fill in your income tax returns, you need to go to your bank and ask for the certificate, where they will give you a certificate, how much you have paid principal and how much of interest has been accumulated on your account. That certificate something you need to have. If you're making certain ATG deductions, if you want to claim, donation receipts you must have. Next, if you have made any other investments which are which are qualified investments for deduction under section 80C or some other section, you need to have investment receipts. So these are the documents also which you need to have before you start opening this website. Okay, so this is a very basic brief understanding of how should I get started with filing my income tax returns. Now, if you are going to this website for the very first time, so in your life you're filing your income tax return for the first time, then you have to go to the website and first you need to register yourself. But I believe that most of the audience here are not the first time income tax return filers. But again, for the benefit of members, the first time if you are going, you need to register. Second time if you're going, you have to directly log in. Now, how do you register? Okay, so now this is how your income tax website looks like. Again, the URL is you go to Google and type income tax e-filing. The first website which will open is going to be this website. So on the right hand side corner, you see one button in blue color, something called as register. You are supposed to click on the register button. So once you click on the register button, if you are the first time user, it will ask you to fill in certain details. Okay, so we have taken a screenshot of it because sometimes income tax website does not open. So I thought to be on a safer side, let me take a screenshot and show it to you. While filing the ITR, I will directly take you to the live website and I'll show it to you how it is done. So while registration, I have to put my PAN card. Now I have to put my PAN, but again, you can see here, I can register myself as a taxpayer or others. So if you are filing income tax return for yourself, always click on the taxpayer column. But let us say you are filing for your minor child or somebody who is deceased as a representative SSC, you can click on the column others and you have to click on the button validate. Moment you click on validate, it will check whether you have entered the correct PAN number. And if you have entered the correct PAN number, it will give you a result showing that PAN validated successfully. Next, they're asking, it is just a confirmation. Please confirm if you want to register as individual taxpayers. Now, how also do I ascertain that I'm an individual taxpayer? In your PAN card, always focus on the fourth letter of your PAN card. If the fourth letter of your PAN card stands for P, that is proprietor, that means you're an individual. If it stands for F, that is partnership firm. If it stands C, then it is a company. As of now, we are only going to discuss about ITR, one that stands for resident individual. I have to click on continue. Okay, even now we are in the registration process, not in the filing process. And then they will ask the basic details. So they'll ask what is my last name, what is my first name. Please ensure that you fill in as it appears on your PAN card. Okay. Next, you have to fill in your date of birth. You also have to fill in your gender and you have to fill in your residential status. Okay. So as of now, I have filled it as a male and I have filled it as resident individual. So here, once I talk about my first name, last name, date of birth, and my gender, next information is going to be the contact details. So I have to fill in my primary mobile number and I have to fill in my primary email ID. Please be conscious that you fill in your mobile number and your email ID. Because back in those days, department would communicate by writing letters to you. It would come as a speed post to you or a registered post with acknowledgement. Now, none of the communications from the department will come in post. All the communications will either be messaged to you or it will be emailed to you, or sometimes it will come in portal itself. So you have to give the actual email ID and the actual mobile number that you use on a daily basis. Okay. Most of the times, even when you go to a commercial accountant's office or a CA's office to file your ITR, sometimes there is a tendency that CA office, for the purpose of convenience, they put their mobile number and their email ID. Please don't do that because you will not get the notice. Okay. The CA will get the notice who may ignore or who may not inform you at the right time. So other information also you need to fill in that which is your door number, flat number, and area and locality. Based on the information that you are going to furnish here, your jurisdictional office is going to be decided. So if you are a faculty who is teaching in Mangalore, maybe you hail from Mysore, maybe you hail from Bangalore. But here, while you are furnishing your postal address, please furnish of Mangalore because then Mangalore jurisdiction will become applicable to you. Next, once you give your mobile number and email ID, OTPs will be sent. Now these OTPs are sent separately. You will have a mobile OTP, you will have an email OTP. Mobile OTP will come for your mobile, email OTP will come to your email ID. Most of the times, email OTPs will directly go to your junk. So in email, check in your junk folder to get the OTP. Once you fill in the OTP and click on continue, you will be registered successfully. So that is as far as registration is concerned. So I believe members are clear as to how to register yourself in the income tax website. If you have filed your income tax return even before 3 years, but you have not filed in the last year, you don't have to do this registration again. Registration is a one-time process. Now, let us say that I have registered. Now there is always this question as to, should I opt for old scheme or should I opt for new scheme? So answer to that question is it depends. So there is no straitjacket formula with which I can say that you have to go for the old scheme or the new scheme. You need to do your own computation and decide. Now, how do you do your computation? So that is what our next screen is all about. Now, in the old scheme, the government would give you certain exemptions. Government would permit certain standard deductions as well as ATC, ATD, ATG, all those deductions. But when I'm talking about new regime, there is no exemptions that are permitted. There is no standard deduction. There is no ATC deduction that you get. Now again, the new regime is under section 115 BAC. So now, I want you to remember this section because in the website you have to choose whether you're opting for the old regime or the new regime. So they will simply ask whether you want to opt for section 115 BAC. So BAC is a new regime. So how this computation will differ, I'll show you with the help of an illustration. Let us say my salary is 18 lakh rupees and 18 lakh rupees, both under old regime and new regime. But in the old regime, I get to claim my HRA exemption. So let us say my HRA exemption is 40,000 rupees. So I get to claim in the old regime, but in the new regime, I cannot claim the 40,000 exemption. Again, talking about standard deduction for a salaried employee, 50,000 rupees of so for in the old regime, 50,000 of deduction is allowed, but in the new regime, 50,000 deduction is not allowed. Again, in the old regime, ATC deduction is allowed, but in the new regime, it is not allowed. So you may wonder as to why would somebody would go for a new regime? Answer would be fairly simple. In the new regime, tax rates are lower compared to that of the old regime. But again, how do I compute that tax rate? There is a utility that is given by the government. Now, I want you to remember this, that in the old regime, the salary was 15 lakh 60,000 rupees. In the new regime, salary is 18 lakh rupees. Okay, so this is the net taxable income. This computation you need to do on your own first. Then you have to go to one website. This website is incometaxindia.gov.in, pages, tools, tax calculator. So there is a tax calculator in the website. I'll share the link in WhatsApp. You can check it later. So you have to go to this link. I'll click on that link. So I'll be taken to this particular website. So here I need to fill in the information. What information I need to fill in? So first they will ask, which is the assessment year that I am talking about. So I will say, I am talking about 2022 and 23. This is the assessment year. That is a current assessment year. What is due in July 31st. Then they will ask, who am I? I will say, I am an individual taxpayer. Next, the moment I chose myself as individual, a question came as to whether opting for taxation under section 115 BAC. So they're asking whether I want to opt for the new scheme. So if I say, first I will say, I don't want to opt. That means I want to go with the old regime itself. Then they will further ask, what is the gender? I will say it is male. What is my residential status? I will say I'm a resident. And now here I am supposed to put my net taxable income. Please remember here, you're not supposed to put your gross total income. It is a net taxable income after deducting all the exemptions and deductions. So we made our computation and we got it as 15 lakh 60,000 rupees. So moment I put 15 lakh 60,000, my tax will come as 2 lakh 91,000 rupees. So if I'm going under old regime, my tax is 2,91,000 rupees. Okay. But what will be my tax if I go under the new regime, for which I'll again come and I will again, let's say I'll reload this page. And I will say assessment year is 22-23. I am an individual taxpayer. And I will come here and I will say, I want to opt for the new scheme. And I will say, I am a male, I'm a resident. And I will say, what is my income? I will say my income is 18 lakh rupees because there is no deduction or exemption that is permissible. So the moment I say my income is 18 lakh rupees, my tax liability will be 2,88,600. So if I continue under old scheme, despite having exemptions and deductions, I have to pay 2,91,000 as tax. But if I directly go for the new scheme, I have to pay 2,88,000 as tax. So I will be making a saving of around 3,000 rupees if I opt for the new scheme. Now, again, for the benefit of all the members, for a salaried employee, in 1 year, I may choose under an old scheme. Next year, I can choose under a new scheme. Again, I can do under an old scheme. So alternative selection is permissible. But if I am having income from any other sources, let us say from a PGBP, that is from a business income if I have, or a professional income I have, once I choose a new scheme, then I cannot go back to the old scheme. I believe the understanding of which scheme to choose is clear. The first thing I need to do is proper calculation, and I need to have total income handy with me, and I have to come to this website and I have to fill in the figures. Now, let us get started as to how do I file my income tax return. Till now, if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat box. I'll wait for a minute or two. Then let us jump into how to file our income tax return. Any questions till now? Please put in the chat box.
Anvish, I think you can go through the chat box. There's a question. In order to claim HRA deduction, is documents from house owner compulsory?
Now, the thing is, documents from the house owner is not mandatory. What you need to do is, you can directly go ahead and mention the rent amount. But if the rent amount is in excess of 1 lakh rupees for the whole of the year, then the portal will ask you to put the PAN number of your landlord. So if your landlord refuses to give you any receipts, if he refuses to even sign a rent agreement with you, but still for the whole of the year, if the rent is more than 1 lakh rupees, that is, if it is 9,000 or more in every month, then you just have to put the PAN number of your landlord. That is enough. There is no other documents that is required. Okay, there is a question. Once I choose the new regime, can I go for the yes? Only for the salaried employee, they have an option of first they can choose this year new scheme, next year old scheme, again new scheme, old scheme. I can keep on doing this computation, and whichever I find it beneficial, I can opt it. So there is one more question that I'm not very clear. There is a question from Ravindra sir, who is asking 87A maximum rebate is 12,500. Then how come 2 lakh above it is coming?
Actually, Anvish, can I mention that while I was doing so, I think I got the 12,500, though it was showing a little above 5 lakh rupees.
Okay.
Not very reason. Okay, I think I actually forgot to ask you personally about that.
Okay, maybe
on the site and at my level, there was a difference.
Okay. Now, what will I do? You see, again, this is just a tool from an income tax website, which again is not perfect in every sense. There is it is always advisable that if you are a tax faculty or if you have certain knowledge about taxation, always do your manual calculation, because sometimes the relief of 87A or something else, you will not be, website may not give you the correct figure. So always do your manual calculation, but this is on a broad way, it will give you some idea of whether to go for a old scheme or the new scheme.
Okay, common question. ITR filed once. Should we do it every year? This from Mr. Manjunath.
No, if you don't have an income, normally section 139 says that only if your income is more than 2,50,000 rupees, you're supposed to file your ITR. But let us say that if your income is less than 2,50,000 rupees, in the previous years, there was no requirement for you to file your ITR. But from this year onwards, there are so many other criteria. One of the criteria, again, I'll show you the website itself. But one of the criteria is, let us say, your electricity bill in the whole of the year is more than 1 lakh rupees. Then, though your income is less than 2,50,000 rupees, or let us say, though your whole income is agricultural income, because your electricity bill in the whole of the year is more than 1 lakh rupees, you have to file your ITR. One more circumstance would be, let us say that you don't have any income in the current year. Before 3 years, you have sold one of your property. You have enough money with you. This year, you decided to go abroad for a tour. So for a foreign vacation, if you're spending more than 2 lakh rupees, then again, though you don't have any income in the current year, it is mandatory for you to file income tax return. So I request all the members to go through section 139. There are certain criteria which are other than income criteria for whom filing of income tax returns becomes mandatory. But if you don't fall under any of those criteria, then you may not file your income tax return. It is optional.
Okay, I think Anvesh, you can go ahead. But then one question that I want, on this screen is 22-23 assessment year. There is also a mention of 23-24 there. Any specific reason? It's for those leaving the country, like anything?
No, 23-24 is for me to plan for the next year. So for me to decide on how much advance tax should I pay, or should I actually make some savings or not? So this is an advanced tax planning, because after March 31st, I cannot put more money into ATC deductions or other deductions. So on the beginning of year itself, I can plan as to, okay, should I go for the old scheme or the new scheme? If I'm going for the old scheme, how much should I invest? So to give that idea, they have given up the next year also. That is of the current year.
Yes, I think perfect. We can go ahead.
Okay. Now, I'll directly go to the income tax website itself. If it is working, I'll show the income tax website, or else I'll take you back to the PPT again. So here, you just have to do income tax e-filing. And the moment you enter, the first link that you get, that is Income Tax Department Home. You click on that. And on the top right side, you have this login button. You click on login. So it will ask, enter your user ID. So here you can either put your PAN number or Aadhaar number, that is preferable. But I always suggest put your PAN number. So I have one, I've taken one PAN number for today's referral. Okay. Manu sir, please tell me if my screen sometimes if it gets stuck or not visible, because I'll be changing between the tabs.
No, I think your cursor is on continue. I think you can continue.
Yes, continue. So I'll just put my PAN number and I'm continuing. And now they're asking me to put the password. Now this is the same password that I've created while registering myself. So here, I have to click on this. Please confirm your secure access message. There is no message that you get to see, but just click on this tick button and then you have to put your password. So I'll just type in my password. So once I put in my password, all that I have to do is continue. And I get to see this is the portal. Now, before you click on this file now button, there are certain things that you must always check. What is that you're supposed to check is, first thing what you're supposed to do is you have to click on services tab here. Okay. So there is one tab called as dashboard, one is e-file, then is authorized partners, and one is services. Always click on the services tab first and then scroll down. Okay. Whenever you click on services, scroll down to annual information statement. Okay. Here they will ask, we'll be redirecting you to the next some other page. You click on proceed. Okay. Now, what is this annual information statement? most of the people, most of the clients, when they come to me, they say, I'm a salaried employee, but I have some other income. Let me only declare my salary income, not other income. How will department know? This is the question. So for the very first time, they have shown you that what and all department knows about. So whenever you click on your AIS button here, you will be shown with two different columns. One is taxpayer information summary. One more is annual information summary. Now, so whenever I click on taxpayer information summary, I get to see all those transactions that I have done in the year. So in this case, there is not much transaction. All that I've done using my PAN number is only two types of transaction. One is I have worked as an employee and I've received a salary. I have received for the whole of the year around 10,52,850 rupees of salary. And I have purchased certain mutual fund to the tune of 20,000 rupees. But let us say you are a businessman and you are registered under GST. Your GST turnover will come here. Not only your GST turnover, let us say not only your sales, all your purchases that you have made, where and all you have given your GST number, your purchases also will come and sit here. If you have sold some of your property, if you have purchased a property, the details will come and sit here. If you are dealing in stocks, shares, the shares that you have sold, the shares you have purchased, the details will come and sit here. So not only that, let us say you have a relative who is staying abroad and you are sending some money to them for their maintenance, or your son, daughter is studying in abroad and you are sending them money from India to them using your bank account. Even that detail will come and sit here. So department has a ground level data. So never question how will department know. Department knows each and every information about you. So here I'm keeping it very simple. Department already knows about my salary information and they also know information about my mutual fund. If I click on salary, again, they will talk about, this is my gross salary information. This is my TDS related information. So then if I click on, again, there is a further drop down that is possible. Like they will also talk about how much salary that I have received. And in another column, I'll show you, they'll also show me what is my month-wise salary, what is my month-wise TDS. To this level, they have access to my information. So first one, what you're supposed to do is you go and check your annual information statement. Next, what you're going to do is you can also see, let us say that some other SFT related information. Now, this is only mutual fund as of now, it is visible. But if you're doing a lot of bank transaction, if you have put more, 12 lakh rupees in your SB account, it will come and sit in your SFT. In your current account, if you have done a dealing of more than 50 lakh rupees, it will come and sit here. So all types of transaction will sit here. So always, again, I'll take back you to the original website. That is the income tax website. You should come to services tab. And once you come to the services tab, you should go to annual information system. There you see whether informations are correct. But sometimes what happened last year, it happened that banks made a mistake while furnishing your information. Let us say, though they gave you 50,000 rupees of interest, they furnished that information twice, mainly with Canara Bank and some other nationalized banks. So actually the income was only 50,000 rupees, but they gave that information twice or thrice. So here the information will sit as 1,50,000 rupees. So you will be able to see what department knows about you. Department will think that your interest is 1,50,000 rupees. You will declare as 50,000 rupees, then the notice will come. So to avoid all those things, come and check annual information system. There is also a facility for you to raise an objection saying that this information is correct or this information is not correct. So please use this utility properly. Next, once it is clear, next for the salaried employees, if there are certain arrears, you need to declare information of those arrears first. Only then you should proceed with filing of your income tax return. How should I give information about my arrears? Again, I'll go to my e-files. So there is a column called as e-file. So here in the second tab, there is something called as income tax forms. I have to click on income tax forms and I have to click on file income tax forms. Okay. So once I click on file forms, I have to choose. Here it is a business related forms. I am not a businessman. It is a salaried return. So I have to click on persons without business or professional income. I'll click here. So that time I'll get a form 10E. Now this in the new website, they have made it fairly simple how to file your Form 10E. You are supposed to click on File Now. And then you are supposed to fill in all the informations. Let us say that, I'm trying to furnish my Form 10E. I will say my income for the current year 22-23, and I will say continue. I'll say, let's get started. What is the type of income that I'm having? Am I having advance salary or a gratuity or a compensation? I will say I'm having an arrear because that is something very common type of income. And I'll click on continue. Then again, I have to fill in my personal related information. That is nothing but my name, my PAN, my address, my residential status. I will click on save. There is nothing I need to do. Though everything is correct, I have to open each column and then I have to click on save. Then you will see a tick button which says completed. Then here I'm supposed to put all the arrear related details. Now, I'm not going to fill in arrear related informations because this alone will take around 20 minutes of discussion as to how to fill in this information. But if I have certain 10E related information, so this is the place which I have to come and fill in even before furnishing my income tax return. So once you file this, data from here will automatically go and sit in my income tax return. So always I need to do this first. Okay. So if that is clear, let me go to my dashboard. So now we will come to the most awaited column or the most awaited discussion of the day. How do I go ahead in filing my ITR? So here only you can see one button, something called as file now. I can either click on this button or I can go and click on e-file and income tax return, and I can click on file income tax return. There are two options, but I'll just click on file now here. But even before doing that, always ensure that you check your 26AS information. That is how much TDS is being deducted on you. So you have to click on e-file, income tax returns. Here you will see your view form 26AS. That again is a different website. So this is another website where TDS related informations are shown, which is updated on a real time or on a monthly basis. So I'll click on I agree to the information. Again, everything you see, you just click on I agree because you don't have any other choice. Proceed. Then here in a small font they've written, that is click on 26AS. I click on view 26AS. Here I'm supposed to show which assessment year I want to check. I want to check it for 22-23. View as HTML because I want to see the online page. I don't want to download it. I will see as HTML. Then I'll click on view button. So here it will show information about all the people who have done TDS on me. As of now, only my employer, who is Nagara Vision so and so, have paid me a salary of 10,52,000 rupees and they've deducted a TDS of 79,239 rupees. Now, it is not always necessary that the information that is appearing here should always be reflected in your income tax website. You check here, this is the correct figure. If it is not reflecting there, you have to go there and you have to manually edit it. Okay. So now, so check your 26AS always. Sometimes if your customers or somebody else, employers have not deducted your TDS and it is not even appearing here, call them and say it is not appearing here and what is the issue. Ask them to give you form 16. Okay, these are the issues that you need to resolve even before filing your income tax return. Now I'm going back to my, I'm going to close this and I'm going to the file now button. Now, once I click on the file now button, now this everything will happen mechanically. So first I have to select my assessment year. I will say this is my assessment year 2022-23. I want to file online. Okay, offline facility is also there where you have to download certain Excel schema or you have to take a third-party software. But I'll directly go and say I want to file it online, and I'll click continue button. Okay, then click on always start new filing. Okay, so I want to say start fresh, start new filing. They will ask who am I? Am I an individual or a HO for others? I will say I'm an individual who is filing this return. Continue. Now this is where they ask this question, which is your ITR form? This is what we discussed initially, ITR 1. So if you are having only your salary income, income from only one house property and interest income or dividend income, then it is ITR 1 that is applicable to you. But sometimes if you don't know which ITR form is applicable to you. You can always click on the left side button. There is a button called as proceed, which will say, help me to decide which ITR form to file. I can either click on this and it will say, okay, ITR 1 for these SSCs, ITR 2 for these SSCs. You can select on your own. But here we know ITR 1 is applicable to us. So I'm going to go ahead with ITR 1 and I will say proceed with ITR 1. Once this is started, then these are the steps that they show how exactly should I do. First, fill up all the information, then confirm it, then verify it. So I will say, fine, I'll do that. Let's get started. Now, this is always a crucial moment. Giving a live demo of income tax website is featuring in Katron Ke Khiladi. We never know when it stops working. So now this is loading. So good for us. So here they're saying, why are you filing your ITR? Even they want to know. So one reason could be my income is more than 2,50,000 rupees. Most of us will fall under this category. But I told you, somebody asked in the chat box, is it necessary for me to file? So it is necessary if I am falling under any of these criteria. That is, whether I have deposited more than 1 crore in my current account, I should file my ITR. Or the 2 lakh or more of foreign country, that is, I have spent on my vacation, whether on myself, or I have sent my kids or parents to abroad, I have to file my returns. If my electricity consumption is more than 1 lakh rupees, I have to file my ITR. Or there are certain other clauses that is defined under 139(1). If you're falling under that, you have to file your ITR. But as of now, let us keep it simple. 2 lakh, more than 2,50,000 rupees, I will file. Members, please be aware of the fact that if it is more than 2,50,000, you need to file. Tax payment is not necessary. It may be 4 lakh rupees. You may have 87A rebate, but still you should file your ITR because it is more than basic exemption limit. So I'll click on continue. Now, department already has the data. Where is the data? We actually went and saw in that annual information statement. So they will only directly feed it in here. All the data that they have, you have to agree. It is not final. You can always disagree and fill your own information. If they only, let us say that you are doing morning employment and evening you are giving tuitions. For tuitions, you are earning some separate income that is not coming in your 26 years, not coming in your income tax portal. There is nothing that is stopping you from adding that income as well. But let us say your employer added one more extra zero, nothing stopping you from deducting it as well or reducing it as well. So here, at the very outset, this is the 5-step process. First step is personal information. Again, most of the things are pre-filled. Second thing is gross total income, that all the 5 heads of income will sit under gross total income. Third thing is your deduction. All the chapter 6 reduction will come here. Fourth thing is already tax paid information. Your TDS related information will come here. And finally, if there is any liability that has to be paid, it will come in the 5th tab. So you can't directly go and click on proceed. You have to go and click on everything confirm. Okay, so let us start with the top personal information. So it says my first name, second name, my PAN, my date of birth, my Aadhaar number. So it is already linked. If it is not linked, please go and link your Aadhaar, because for you to verify your ITR, your Aadhaar has to be linked to your PAN number, or else it is a very lengthy process. So link your Aadhaar. Now again, how to link? You just type PAN Aadhaar link income tax. The portal will show. You just have to put your PAN number, Aadhaar number, and on a button link. It will be linked. So this is my address and nature of employment. So here I have to choose what is the nature of my employment, whether I'm a government employee, state government employee, PSU, or if I'm a pensioner. So if you're an employee of a private company, then I'll click on others. But if members here are a government employees, they can choose accordingly, whether as a state government or a central government. Now, this is very important. Whenever you are claiming, let us say, the benefit on leave encashment. Now, if you're a government employee, entire amount becomes exempt, or else it will be restricted to 3 lakh rupees. So be very conscious and mindful of what column you choose here. I've chosen others here. That is the type of my employment. And why am I filing my ITR? There are so many sections. Let us not dwell into these sections. If it is a normal return, it is 139(1). If it is also unselected also, you select this and select this button. It is 139(1). 139(4) is after July 31st. 139(5) is revised. If you make a mistake, you can revise it unlimited times before
31st March of next year. And there is section 119(2)(b), that is, if I'm filing my returns after 5 years, I have to make an application to Principal Chief Commissioner, then he will allow me to file under 119(2)(b). These are all not applicable to us. Let us keep it simple. It is 139(1). This is not also applicable. We are not filing this in response to any notices issued. So this is also not applicable. Are you opting for the scheme under 115 BAC? They're not talking new scheme, old scheme, that thing. They're saying new tax regime. I will say I will not opt because I want to show where to put in all those HRA deductions and other things. So I will say I'm not opting for the scheme. And then they will ask bank details. Now, I've seen many people, they only give one bank account details to them. Don't do that. All the bank accounts that you have, whether you use it, don't use it, whether even it is dormant, keep on adding those bank accounts. But out of that, one bank you select for refund. Because if you have any refund, only then money will come. Just because you select a bank account, money will not come to you if refund is not due to you. So select for refund and then you click on confirm. So step number 1 is confirm. So we have to go to step number 1. It is step number 1 is confirm. Step number 2 is going for GTI, gross total income. So here again, there are certain questions that they're asking. Are you eligible to claim any exemption on basis of travel on tour, uniform maintenance? Please read on your convenience. I am going to select that nothing is applicable to me. Children allowance, not applicable to me. Only HRA. This is the HRA they're talking about. Am I eligible for that? I will say yes. Now, this information is pre-filled, 4,300, 43,600. Now, this is the information that I have given to my employer while submitting the information. You may agree with this or you may again disagree with this. Maybe let us say your rent has gone up. So I may say I don't agree with this and I can change this. I will say it is not 43,600, it is 63,600. I can do that. Okay. It is not violation of any law. Then are you eligible for LTA? I will say no. Do you have any other exemptions? As of now, I will say no. Let us continue. So here I have to fill in certain data. Okay. So here salary income that I have to fill in. Now here again, this is pre-filled 10,52,852. Now this is again being fetched from my 26 AS or from AIS. Now, if you have some other salary income which is not come here, you can change it. There is nothing stopping you from doing that. If you have certain perquisite income, you can fill in here. Profit in lieu of salary, you can fill in here. Then you are supposed to click on save. You just, this is not applicable only 89A for most of the people. There is certain retirement benefits. So this is only one exemption that I have, 63,600, that is HRA. So I'm claiming HRA deduction. If I was under the new scheme, this was not eligible for me. Only under the old scheme, HRA is eligible for me. Standard deduction of 50,000 rupees, pre-filled. I don't have to do anything. In the old scheme, this is pre-filled. Professional tax, whether it is 2,400 or 1,200, depending on whether professional tax is actually paid or not, you fill in this column. Then you click on save. So we have added our salary related information. Now I also get to add my house property related information. As of now, there is no information as far as house property is concerned. We checked in AIS, but let us say I have some home loan, that information that I need to put in. So I will say type of house property. I'll say it is a self-occupied house property that I have. I have paid, let us say, some 4,50,000 rupees of interest. But please be aware that interest is capped off only 2 lakh rupees. So even if you enter 4,50,000 rupees, what is eligible to you is going to be only 2 lakh rupees. 2,50,000 rupees shall lapse. So I'll click on 4,50,000. I'll remove and I'll just make it as 2 lakh rupees. And I will add. So I have added salary income. I have also added my HR, the house property related information here. That is the negative income that I have of 2 lakh rupees. Let us say now again, I had an income tax refund in the last year. I have received interest on that. This is also pre-filled. So I have to just agree on this I'll not edit it. If you have to edit it always, you can't directly click on this button here. You have to just click on which column you want to edit it. Let us say I disagree with this. So I can click on here, then I will click on edit and I can increase it or decrease it. But as of now, I will keep it as it is. So this is my GTI. If there is some other exemption, I get to claim here. Maybe if I'm an agricultural income, I'll put it here. I'll click on confirm. So out of the 5 things, 2 things are done. Then next one is total deductions, whatever if I have. So are you eligible to claim any deductions for donation paid? So if you have any 80 Gs, you can click on yes, but I will say there is no donations that I have made. Scientific research, nothing. 80 GG, nothing. So here 80C is already pre-filled. This is the information I gave to my employer and he has updated. So the same information will appear in my form 16 also. Compare with my form 16. If it does not tally, you can always click on no, I don't agree with this and I can claim 1,50,000 rupees here and I can keep it. I can again ATC-CD2, NPS deductions, and all ATD, all other information you can furnish. Okay. So these are the information that has already been pre-filled. ATTTA, that is interest on SB also, I get to fill in here and I will say continue. So my personal information is filled in. Personal information, GTI is filled in. Now I'm in the deduction sector. ATC, very nice interface. They say 1,50,000. ATE, that is interest on education loan around 11,000 rupees. ATD, I have nothing. There is no other deductions. I will just do confirm. Okay. So 3 things are confirmed. Next one is there is a tax paid. Now tax paid is whether I have paid it as an advance tax or whether it is deducted as a TDS. That information will come here. So here they will say this is your TDS. If you don't agree with the TDS figure that is appearing, you have to click on show details. Whatever this information, I told you, you can't directly click on edit here. You have to click on the button here and then click on the edit tab. Let us say I don't agree with this 79,000 of TDS. Maybe in 26 years it is 90,000 rupees, or let us say it is 2 lakh rupees. Okay, then I will click on save. This will get saved. I will click on confirm. But please make it a point that it is appearing in your 26 years before you click in. Simply don't add amount here. Some self-assessment tax I have paid, some TCS information. You check all these things, then click on confirm. So out of the 5 things we have done with 4 things, the final thing is total tax liability. Okay, how much tax I am supposed to pay? My income, it says now it is only 5,76,000 rupees. Tax payable on the total income is also around 27,000 rupees. And then all relief, other information, it is my total tax. I'll click on confirm. Okay. So these, my total tax liability 28,920, but already paid tax is 2 lakh rupees. So the balance amount of around 1,71,080 rupees is going to be refunded to me, and I can click on proceed. Okay. So once I click on preview return, okay. Once I click on preview return, then my return will become final. Okay. There is a column where I click on my submit my return. I'll again take you through the PPT now, because these are all the information that I put it from my pocket. I don't want to receive a notice. So I will take you to the screen. Okay. So again, so the screen is visible now, sir?
Yes.
All right. So I'll come here, then I'll click on the button proceed. So once I click on proceed, it will say if I have to make some payment, it will say what is the amount of tax I need to pay. Okay. So in this example, you need to make payment of 1,81,710 rupees. Now, this is not existing case. This is some different case where TDS was less and tax liability was more. So it shows I have to make payment of around 1,81,710. I can click on the pay now button. It will take me to my net banking and I can make the payment. Once it is done, once return is filed, once I make the payment and submit my return, return becomes filed. Once it is filed, it is not the end of it. I should always e-verify my return. Unless return is verified, return is not treated as submitted. It will be treated as a faulty return. Okay, and it will be rejected. Okay, so I have to click on e-verify my return. Now again, how do I e-verify my return? Come to your portal, come to services, under services, not under services, sorry. In e-file, I have to click on, directly take it to the website. Here, I'll come to e-file and here I'll click on income tax return. There is a column called as e-verify the return. Okay. So if my return is filed, it will show which assessment here and there will be one column called as e-verify your return. I'll click on e-verify. So I'll be asked with questions as to how do I want to e-verify my return? Do I want to e-verify with the help of an Aadhaar OTP, which is the most convenient method? You click on Aadhaar OTP, a mobile number that is linked to your Aadhaar, you will get an OTP, fill in that and your filing is done. You don't have to print it and send it to somebody else. This is the only thing. You put your OTP, your thing is done. And if you're too lucky, if the refund is due, it will be get processed in 5 or 6 days. But on your side, then it may take around 5 to 6 months for you to get your refund of your income tax that is paid in excess. So this in nutshell is a procedure about how do you file your income tax return. But let us say your Aadhaar is not linked to your PAN. That time you can make payment, file your return by with the help of the net banking. So you can log into your net banking and you can file your income tax return. There will be one column for income tax return e-verification. Click on that. All the nationalized banks will have it. Private banks will also have it. Your cooperative banks will not have it. If you have a bank account in nationalized banks, the private banks, you can verify with the help of net banking also. So this is how you verify your return. So this is the process from beginning, how to file your income tax return. One. Any questions you may ask now.
Thank you, Anvesh. I think it's been really wonderful. I think you have solved a lot of doubts or issues that people had, and I believe that will surely make them, every SSC, very confident of going to the income tax website. I should say without the help of a chartered accountant.
Yes.
I think that is the most wonderful thing of your presentation. I believe this session's theme was to make everyone do their work. As we say, learning by doing. What you do is know. That was actually the theme. And I believe, quite a few people have already filed their returns, waiting for refund. Quite a few people are in the process. And I believe that this session would have definitely encouraged a lot of people, especially teachers, to file their returns on their own. So if there are any questions, I request teachers to, you can unmute yourself or you can put the questions in the chat box also. We will try taking those questions one by one. I request everyone to, yes, if there are any questions, I'll just check 1 second. I think you can, good session, informative session, I think you can keep it for the end if there are any questions, because I have to really scroll through. Okay. If there are any questions that you have, you can unmute and you can ask directly. Feel free.
Yeah, please. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, madam.
If you have agricultural income as well as business income, how to be calculated?
So is it about how to compute the income or how do I file my return? Listen, is it a procedural question or is it the computational question?
How to compute?
No, though agricultural income is not subjected to tax because the Constitution of India has not put agricultural income into the purview of central list. Now, this is very interesting to understand the concept. The Constitution of India have created different lists, and they've told that on certain aspects, central government can collect tax. On certain things, state government can collect tax. Agricultural income is one such aspect which is not there in the central government's bucket. So they, even if they want, they can't collect tax on the agricultural income. So what have they done is, instead of collecting tax directly, they have somehow arrived at a calculation where they are saying, we are not taxing the agricultural income, but we are seeing whether a person has agricultural income as well as other income. If one person has agricultural income of 1 crore also, it is totally exempt, nothing to worry. But if he has some other income, then we have to do computation of, first you have to add agricultural income, then you have to compute the tax rate, then remove and compute the tax rate. And it is, I'd say, I need one sum to exactly explain it. For this session, I would not take up that session. I'm sorry, ma'am, for that, because it requires number to explain.
Yes, Anish, I think there are quite a few questions, but then it will be difficult for us to take all. So what I would, Mr. Vijendra Shana, if you can be quick, sir, whether any documents are required for preventive health checkup, ATD, 5,000.
No, there is, see, one thing is when you file, see, income tax is basically a self-assessment tax. You don't have to furnish any document by at the time of filing your ITR. Make it as a file. Because department can pick your file for scrutiny. If they pick out of 100, 2 or 3 assessors will be picked. So in this whole audience, around 230 members who are there, department may pick only 6 people for scrutiny. If you are falling under those 6 people, they will say, furnish the receipt if you have. So only at that time, you have to furnish the receipt. And mostly 99% of the cases, salaried employees, they don't ask for scrutiny, because anyways, 100% what you earn is taxable. So they don't come after this salary return. So normally for that preventive health checkup, receipt is not necessary, but you should be paid with the help of bank. So at least that bank payment, if you have a passbook one entry, more than enough.
Okay, and same related question is there a mock site? I think you showed it right way. For the students, if you have to explain this.
The website itself, go there, just don't go and confirm in the last stage. You can go play the website. Next time you come, you just start with filing the fresh returns. That income tax website itself is a mock page. If you don't go ahead and file your ITR, you can also go ahead and file your ITR, and later you can revise it also. No problem.
Yes. I think the only thing is don't e-verify as you did, and you took us to the screenshots later on. Yes, I think Mr. Murli and Mr. Anand Pai has given credit to you. I think now we can do that without the help of a chartered accountant. It was really wonderful this day. So, but Madam Pushpalata is still worried. She says, a little more confidence is required to go to the IT website and do on your own. I think my suggestion would be, Madam, you go, you will learn on your own. That is what I can say. Then, yeah, I don't know if I missed out any questions. If there are any questions, you can. He has said great loss for chartered accountants after seeing this session, he says, Mr. Murli. Okay. But there are other issues also where you may definitely need chartered accountant. Madam Deepthi, how much an amount can we deduct for physically challenged person under which section? I think that was not our topic of discussion for today. For a physically challenged person, under which section, how much can we deduct? That is the point.
Now, there are sections. You are self-disabled, then 80, you will talk about like 25,000, I believe. Then there is section 80 DDB, that is if the dependent is disabled. Then if they are not a senior citizen, around 40,000. If they are a senior citizen, up 1 lakh rupees that you can deduct.
Okay, and one more question from Madam Pushpalata. Which form to use if we have capital gain along with salary?
Now again, so that is where the portal, you just go open your ITR, you say, I don't know which one, help me. it will clearly say, for whom ITR 1 is applicable. You just have to click on it and click on proceed to file. It will only take you where. Now, for the benefit of all the members, I just take 1 minute. And what will I do is, I will go to the first page. Screen is not visible. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reset that everything that I've done. I'll come here, e-file. I will click on file income tax return. I'll say assessment year is 22-23, online, continue. I'll not click on resume filing because I want to start it from the scratch. I'll click on resume new filing. I'm an individual. I'll click on continue. Here, don't click on which ITR. Just click on here. Help me to decide which ITR form to file. Click on the proceed button here. Again, they are saying general disclaimer. This facility is solely for informative purpose. The beauty of the income tax website is they will give you information, but they will say we are not responsible if you make any mistake. So here they are saying that it is not an alternative for legal advice. So they are asking you read. There is no shortcut for reading on your own. So then they say continue. So ITR 1 is applicable if you fall under these categories. Okay. But ITR 2, they will say this form is if you don't have a income from business or profession. So if you have a capital gain income, you have to go with ITR 2. But if you have a PGBP income, go with ITR 3. Okay. So then they will say this form is applicable if you meet any of the criterias. Okay. So again, go through this and then you can. So let us say for me, ITR 3 is applicable because or ITR 2 is applicable. Okay. What will I do? I'll click on ITR 2 and I will say proceed to file ITR. And again, the same process will continue. The same 5 steps I do and I file my ITR.
Okay, there are quite a few questions. I think Mr. Danya PT's question, can we simply change the number without any documents and afraid of notices, other teachers' questions saying that, we are very much afraid of notices. When do we get such letters, beautiful letters from Income Tax Department?
No, changing numbers. See, if you have done something and you know what you're doing is a correct thing. For example, TDS, you have a form 16 in your hand, which says TDS is 1 lakh rupees. But in the portal, it shows only 30,000 rupees. 100% you can be confident and change it to 1 lakh rupees. Even if the notice comes, it is not the end of it. Just send a reply saying that this is my form 16, correct your records. Then that's it. The proceeding will close. So only when you are confident about this is the right thing that I'm doing. HRA, my employer has done a mistake. You change it, no problem. But without having a concrete documents in your hand, don't change a figure, because the moment you change the figure there, they will get a notice or they will get a trigger information saying that you have claimed excess deductions, you have declared short income. Definitely they'll send you there is 143(1) notice, that is a summary assessment. They will ask you to furnish information. There you are supposed to go and furnish it.
Okay. Anush, one final question. This is from Dr. Shashikala Madam, and she's asking, can we shift from old tax regime to the new tax regime while doing e-filing?
All the filing has to be 100% e-filing. Back in those days, there was a facility in which you could do a manual return and go to income tax department, stand in the queue, take his tuple, then you would say ITR is filed. Now there is no manual return at all. It has to be online only. For a salaried class employee, other than business, you can keep switching between old to new, new to old. No problem. You can keep doing that.
Yes.
Hello.
So I believe there are no other questions. And if there is any, just final question. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, I have a question. So one of my friends, she had left her job in between, but now she has got that form 16. So whether can you explain me about that, sir? Form 16, which is deducted by the employer on behalf of employee. But she got that mail from the company regarding
Can you
form
repeat
16.
the first part, madam? It was not clear. The first part.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah,
Am
go
I
ahead.
audible?
Yes,
Yes, sir. One of my friends, she had left the job in between, but she has received the salary for 3 months, and now she has got that form 16 in her mail by the company. So it is asking for that signature procedure, all these things. Whether she has to proceed with that or.
Okay, so you mean to say that she has left the job, even after leaving the job, she received 3 months salary?
Yes, yes. No. She worked for 3 months. She got it without the notice period. I mean,
That is okay. See, notice period, no
that's
notice
okay.
period, nothing. Income tax department is least bothered. They have paid salary,
Uh-huh.
file the return.
Okay,
But
but
madam,
the
is she
salary
working
was
now?
amounts to 50,000, but
If it is less than 8, if it is less than that 2
2
lakh,
lakh 50.
it's no need to file.
Okay.
But is she working now, Madam Shweta?
No, sir, no.
If she is
That's
not
what I
working,
said. No, with the
TDS was deducted.
she's-
You can claim that TDS if it was deducted for 3 months during those 3 months.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you, dear participants. May I invite my dear colleague, Professor Rekha SN, Department of English, to propose the vote of thanks. Hey, if there are any questions, you can put it in the WhatsApp group. We will be very happy to answer. Pass it on to CA Anvesh and definitely get back. Over to you, Rekha, madam.
No duty is more significant than that of returning thanks. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's the moment to congratulate and especially thank all the esteemed guests and all the participants of this program. I must confess that this topic is known to all the teachers of Commerce Department and the Department of Income Tax. But there are many others for whom this topic is new, just like me, and depend on others to file it. I wholeheartedly thank the resource person, CA Anvesh Shetty, for enlightening us in this regard. Thank you so much, sir. I am very grateful to our principal, Dr. Shivaram P., without whom the program would not have been possible. Thank you so much, sir. My sincere thanks goes to the president of Mukta, Professor Pashunath Ajgiri, all office bearers, coordinator, Mr. Luis Manoj Ambrose, co-coordinator, Dr. Teres Pereira, who has taken an initiative in organizing this wonderful program, which is the need of the hour. I also thank our dear colleagues for their support, and significantly, I thank all the participants of various streams for making this program successful. Thank you, one and all. Thank you once again. Have a great evening.
Yeah, thank you, Rekha, madam. So, dear participants, thank you, C. Anvesh, and I think we will be back with the, I have a thought in mind that we, as far as this law, income tax is concerned, there are so many loopholes or loose ends. And I believe we need to have a session on that, how we can avoid, not evade, how we can avoid. I think we need to have a close-knit session where we can discuss all the loopholes in the Income Tax Act. So maybe I'm thinking in those lines. And one more session that we are coming up very soon is on gamification. And I believe all the teachers would be really interested. Maybe give me a little time. We are working out with one of the speakers from Bengaluru. He is into, more into value research training kind. So we are in talking terms with him, and we will get back and we will have another resourceful session. So for this session, thank you, C. Anvesh, for your company and for your thoughts. I think it was, I should say as usual. Pleasure to listen to you. And to dear participants, I think we had around 465 registrations, and we have around 236, I believe. So 50% was the conversion rate, I can say. So our worry was, what if the number exceeds 300? Me and Anvesh were discussing. Then we thought, online everyone registers, but not all join. So anyways, thank you very much for your participation this evening. All right, so now I'm putting the feedback link in the chat box. I want you all to give your feedback. And there are 5 questions that you have to answer based on Anvesh's presentation this day. All right, so thank you very much. I request you all to please fill the feedback form, and only after that you can leave the webinar. Okay, we will be here. Thank you.
Thank
you. Yes, just Anvesh just will hold on for 5 minutes probably.
Yes, sir.
So still unofficially, you can continue to ask questions. No problem at all.
So there is a question from Devi Kumari Ma, that which is beneficial, old scheme or the new scheme. Again, it depends on the facts. But one thing is, moving forward, there won't be an old scheme at all. So it is just a one stopgap arrangement for a couple of years the government has done. But moving forward, government does not want to give deductions, exemptions, nothing. So be very cautious whenever you plan your taxation, because only salaried employees will have only hardly ETC deductions, no other this one. But moving forward, even that will not be eligible. So everything that you receive will be offered to tax.
Correct. No, because there was a reason why I did not ask that question. Because old or new purely depends on whether, if there are, actually the new tax regime, as I understand, is if you have no investments, I think that is the best way to go. But if you have investments, a home loan, then you cannot move out of old tax regime at all.
And there is a question as to what are situations where you may get notices. Please go and check your AIS. If something is there in AIS, let us say some 194J TDS has been done. That is, you have received some professional payment. You have gone to some college and you have spoken. And as an honorarium, they are paying you 50,000 rupees, but they deduct 5,000 as TDS and given you only 45,000. 5,000 rupees has been deposited to the government. Now department knows that you also have, apart from salary, you have a professional income. But if you don't declare a professional income, but only declare a salary income on the base of your Form 16, 100% you will receive notice. So always check your AIS. If all incomes what is there, at least to that extent declare your income. Somebody said, what if you make a mistake? Don't worry. There is a revised return. It is not a death penalty. Make mistake. Make a mistake. Again, you go click on revise return. The moment you file your revised return, everything will get replaced except the date. So don't worry, revise it. Now somebody asked, can we change the numbers without any documents? A risky venture, only if you have documents. If you're confident, change the numbers.
Okay, I think all are busy answering those 5 questions. No, everyone is, what I should say, very much focused in answering those questions. Possibly, Anvesh should get a feedback regarding those numbers instead of an oral feedback. If you get 5 out of 5, but I believe, after listening to you, one question is out of syllabus now in that 5. But then no problem. I think 4 out of 5 is still a good number. That's what I can say. Knowledge of tax, definitely, it's 5 out of 5. And dear teachers and whoever has joined, please note, this marks will be reflected in your certificate that is given. Oh, okay. I've got a reply. So anyone can give a feedback now, because I've got a reply from Mr. Avin that it's easy after listening to you. Okay. Okay, I believe everyone has filled the feedback form. 6 o'clock was the session. People are still wanting to join this session.
Yeah.
Okay, can anyone give us a feedback, oral feedback about those 5 questions? Anyone? Madam Jyoti, if you would like to share your thoughts. Anyone?
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead, Salma madam.
Sir, my question is that if my account, that is, I have a salary account, if anybody non-resident, he is depositing an amount in my account, even that will be showing in my returns filing form. That is the information. Sir said that all the information, whatever you do, whatever the activities you will do it related to your security stock or whatever income you're getting it will be shown on the form. The details will be shown to the IT department. So even that will be reflecting it there or not, sir?
See, there is something called as SFT. Earlier days, it was called as Annual Information Report. Now it is called as Statement of Financial Transaction. Now, everybody, like it could be a bank, it could be a stock exchange, it could be a car dealer, it could be a shopping mall, everybody, at the end of the year, they will be submitting certain informations about their customers to the government. Now, there is a criteria also. Just let us say I have a SB account where I just have 30,000 rupees. This information banks will not go to give to income tax department. The income tax department have given certain criteria. Your SB account, if you put more than 10 lakh rupees, they will send the information. Current account, you put more than 50 lakh rupees, they'll send the information. Cash deposit, more than certain, they will send the information. So you go through that SFT. So if they say, so if I make any foreign remittance, that is one of the criteria, they will send it. But you see whether foreign inward remittance is one of the criteria. If yes, surely it will go and sit there. Just because it is sitting there does not make it taxable, because there is section 56 subsection 2 clause 10 which talks about certain incomes from gift are not taxable. So even if it is from your family member who is abroad who is sending that money to you, if it is not amounting to your income, you don't have to declare tax. Don't worry. You can always offer an explanation. But this is information the department has about it. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the information, and your session was really great. I always enjoy participating the webinars, what you people will be conducting it. And thank you for giving me an opportunity to be the part of it. Though I don't belong to the that is Mangalore University. I come from the Mysore University. Last session I was not able to attend. Last time also you people have conducted one session where I missed out because of my working schedule. But this was really a great, excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. I think you are a part of our fourth session of NEP, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I remember. Okay, any feedback on the 5 questions that we asked quickly? Because it's weekend. We have to celebrate. That's what Anvesh is waiting.
So there is a question, how do we get a form 16 for the retired army personnel? Income tax has made it very mandatory. Income tax does not see whether you're army, whether you're a private. They say once you deduct TDS, form 16 you need to give. If you don't give, there is a fine for the employer. But employer is okay to pay the fine. You know what your salary is on the basis of your salary slip. Come to income tax portal, file your income tax return. Simple.
Madam Shashikala, I hope you have got the answer.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Sir,
yes.
I scored 5 marks. You see my feedback.
Madam Shashikala is from Untitled College. Yes. Yes. Any other question? I think we can leave. I think quite a few have already filled. They have left as well. Around 80 of them have already left. So I believe 235 was a good number, Anvesh. I think others are putting that on YouTube, and let them watch and ask for the feedback form. We will share and let them answer the questions. Dear friends, certificates from Monday onwards. So please don't trouble us. I will open the WhatsApp group for your feedback there. And those who have filled no sharing this feedback link